Welcome to another property podcast here on E-Radio with Remax Coastal. Today in studio we're joined by Chris van der Merwe to talk about the year that was and how it went in the property industry. Chris, welcome to E-Radio.
Thanks, Jon. Thanks for the opportunity. Yes, I think for some it was a long year and for others even longer, but I think it's been a productive year for us in a sense that we've achieved a lot of successes, and I would just like to say to each member of my team, thank you, because it's always the people that's in your team. It's not necessarily the logo on top of the door which says Remax. It's sort of the input and the buy-in of everybody and each person in our team that has achieved a lot this past year.
Chris, if you look at 2020 and 2021, obviously this year things were better.
It were better, you know. In hindsight, it's always easy to say. People refer to as COVID and pre-COVID, but if you remember, I mean, March 2020, I think it was the 28th of March, our president called the national lockdown, hard lockdown.
Yeah.
And you know, for people that's in the service industry, working with buyers and sellers and not having access, I mean, it was pretty dreary. It was dark stages at that time. And looking back now, how the market has recovered, it's like a miracle that's actually happened, and we're very blessed for that. It seems like people sort of self-assessed during that time, and being a holiday town, I think we see a lot of more permanent people living here now. They sort of reassess, they said to themselves they can work virtually. So looking back at that, we've recovered, and it's phenomenal what growth we had in our three towns, Knysna, Sedgefield and Wilderness. Very blessed and very thankful for that.
In our previous podcast, we spoke to Louis from Sedgefield at your Remax office there, and he said semigration is still going strong.
Yes, semigration is definitely the key word. We are experiencing this on a big scale, so much so that there's a lot of people wanting to move down here, but you know, these small coastal towns, there's not like land that lay available for new development, so it's very, property is very much in demand, but we can only sort of accommodate a certain amount of people. So it's definitely, semigration is definitely to create a better lifestyle for the family, for the children, and being down here at the coast. I think it's really, by saying that, I feel very blessed to be able to service these clients, to make their lives also better. It sounds like a cliche now, but I mean, if I look at our sales this last year, between Knysna, Sedgefield and Wilderness, there's pretty much like 160 transactions which taken place.
Wow.
So put that into the context, that's 160 sellers, but also 160 new families that's enjoying this lifestyle, right, and that are new into the area, which is phenomenal.
Yeah. That's why we're seeing all these new faces. You think they're visiting, but they're actually living here now.
Yeah, you see GP number plates, and you see Northern Cape and Limpopo number plates for a few months, and then everything is CX, and then it's just, it's phenomenal. It's very exciting. The sort of the diverse blend of people moving down here, young and old. It's very refreshing.
I'm just wondering, you know, in the rental field, are we still out of stock in most areas here in the Garden Route?
I think the rentals has sort of recovered after the 2017 Knysna fires.
Oh yeah,
where the rental prices were exorbitant. I think there was a great recovery made on a monthly basis, so it's more affordable for locals. I would say that's also a scarce commodity at this stage. I mean, a lot of people are tied into building contracts. They sort of buy a piece of land, they want to build a property, but in the meanwhile they want to rent. And then also a lot of younger entrepreneurs, you can just look for yourself. People from Knysna that send their kids off to like Stellenbosch, to Stellies, or up country to go and study. I mean, they're sort of making a return to Knysna, so there is still a demand for younger and established families for rental properties.
Now, I've seen obviously those rental prices also skyrocketed during the pandemic, and with a lot of people desperately looking for properties, including myself. That was something I'll never forget. Incredible stress. So you don't know stress
until you haven't got a roof over your head.
Yes, or you have like a countdown and you got to be out before that date.
I remember we've made so many phone calls. I mean, obviously you've got your rental department, but then you start finding friends and family. They've got a cottage or they've got sort of extra space or extra room. So I get some flashbacks of that time.
Yeah, but I'm glad to hear that 2022 was a much better year, Chris. And now you're not going to put your feet up and just relax. December is also a busy time for you.
You know what? We're in the service industry. I mean, we service our clients, and there's a lot of local visitors as well as foreign visitors to our area. And you know what? People buy property emotionally. They come down, they look at this area, they might have never been here. They come and visit it for 3 or 4 days and they fall in love with NASA, and then they want to purchase property. So my phone is on. Our agents, Remax Coastal, Lakes and Eden, our offices are open. So our clients are welcome to call us. Just except Christmas Day, let's just have a lunch, and then after that we'll take the calls further.
Yeah.
But I think it's a time where our town is going to be very busy, especially the sort of your holiday leisure, your Airbnbs, your guest houses. So looking forward welcoming all our visitors and also welcoming our clients in the past to the holiday homes. It's always nice if you go around and you see familiar faces, sort of to catch up with them again and see how their year have been. So it's always nice to see old and new faces.
Yeah. Chris, is there a specific area in Knysna where people actually want to live? Like a high demand area where people kind of insist to stay?
I think, you know what, people coming from upcountry and from bigger metros, where they can see the water.
Yeah, as long as they're close to the water.
A lot of time people come down to NASA, they want a beach house with views and flat areas. So I always say to people, those type of properties don't exist. I mean, our closest beach are Brenton-on-Sea and Buffalo Bay.
That's right, yeah.
If you really want to sort of talk further, then you can say, but Bollard Bay on Leisure Isle is also a beach, which is...
Yeah.
It could...
Yes.
In the sort of, if you're very technical. But I think there's pockets where people want to see the beach. I think Thiessen Island, the Keys, Belvedere. Luckily, Knysna is sort of the lay of the land is as such from a lot of places like suburbs, Knysna, it's paradise. Even here in Costa Sara, where you can see the lagoon. So I think it's very much a lifestyle town. But I think seeing the water, being close to the beach, Buffalo Bay is very popular.
Yeah. I went there this weekend. It's
Stellenbosch, people and people from Paul.
It's just surfboards
and boogie boards, and but it's nice to this time of the year to sort of see the holiday makers coming down and clients coming down to the houses. It's also in a certain way give us also sort of a sense of the festive season is nearing. And sort of, we don't always get to put our feet up, but it's always nice to sort of meet family and friends and sort of catch up this time of year during the festive season.
So what you're saying, Chris, is also during December you can get random phone calls of a family who came down and they all say, hey, can you please open this house for me? I want to look inside and see what it's like.
Yes, Ian, it's sometimes it's very sort of challenging being an agent. People will call you on Old Year's Eve, 24th of December, we want to look at this house, and then yes, your either your owners is in the house or there's family, not family, holiday makers that pay a premium to be in the property. So it's always challenging to sort of get people into homes between Christmas and New Year. But you know what, from time to time we negotiate well, we do get it right. A lot of the time the owner said, please just, if it's a serious seller, they will just say, please excuse the mess. It's like grandkids and it's like they're busy braaiing. So the buyers,
it's a house. People live in it.
The people live there. It's not a staged house. So when buyers just look past that, I mean, if you've got a qualified buyer, we've done deals like that before. So it's always just a challenge to sort of get them in during these periods, but it is possible.
It must be difficult, being a family man, getting a call while you're around the Christmas tree and now you got to show a house to somebody and break away from the family and you don't know how long.
You sort of tear yourself in two, but you know what, we're always there for our clients and one need to be balanced. So what we always do is we if you're busy with a braai or you've got a family function, is just to sort of take the call, acknowledge the call.
Yeah.
I mean, people are understanding. I mean, people are down here. I mean, they're also in sort of an holiday mood. And then the client will tell you, listen, I'm here until the 2nd. So, I mean, they're not unreasonable. So it gives you a few days to work with and try to get out. And being a family man, yes, I believe you need to be balanced. I mean, you need to be a family man. You need to be a businessman, but you need to just balance it and sort of communicate that through to your clients. They will understand.
That's right, yeah. They work something out, Chris, 2023, that's coming up. What do you think it's going to look like if you had a crystal ball in the property field? Do you think it's going to get even busier?
Let me just polish this crystal ball quickly and see how I can see it a bit clearer. I think, we're very blessed and fortunate to be living where we are living in the Garden Route in this stretch. I think there's a lot of people that aspire to come down here. We try and make it possible as far as we can. I think in this part of the world, like I've said to you just now, the demand is there for property, but we're also seeing the prices soaring in an upward trend. With the interest rate hike that went up now in the last quarter of the year, I think we're very blessed that our buyers in this area are mostly cash buyers, or a combination of mostly cash and the balance financed. So I'm positive going into the new year. I just wish we could create more affordable property and sort of accommodate more people. But that's why we work with a lot of developers, landowners between Knysna and Wilderness, and even our plate office work very closely with our fellow agents there to try and sort of see where there's plots of land where one can sort of redevelop. It's very scarce, but as property practitioners, that's sort of the way to go, that we can create more affordable homes, which a lot of people upcountry want to be in estates, but you don't always have to be. When you live down here, you don't have to be in an estate. I think the security is of such a nature. So I'm positive for 2023. Hopefully I can just take a little bit of a break now in December.
As the new year,
and then I'll tackle 2023 by the horns.
Yeah.
But I'm positive. I think it's good for Knysna. Knysna has seen a sort of upliftment, a lot of positiveness. If you look at our town, I think we've won the Dorpie of the Year recently.
Oh yes, yeah.
And our town is clean. My wife drove through town the other day. She said, "Have you seen how clean Knysna is?" So you know what? There's a positive spirit in the air. I think the business owners from COVID, I think it's opposite that pre-COVID has sort of inflicted on us. So I think I'm exciting to see our visitors coming down for this festive season, going through Christmas and New Year, and then tackling the New Year and new lifted spirits.
Chris, where do we see your listings?
On Remax, we can look at www.remax.co.za or www.remaxcoastal.co.za. So all the listings are on there, and with the nice photos and videos. So all the client need to do is just to go and browse through those listings, and then they're welcome to contact us.
Or just click on the banners on the eRadio website, which will take you straight to the Remax Coastal website, and then you can pick a town, which is quite nice.
You can pick a town, and your music that you're playing is so awesome. So you can actually listen, you can stream eRadio while you're browsing through our properties on remax.co.za.
Yeah, it doesn't get better than that, eh?
Maybe with something cold in the hand and a view of the beach.
That's it. Chris, it was nice catching up with you, and I'm wishing you and your family and your colleagues a wonderful festive season, and I hope that 2023 will be a good year for all of us.
No, thank you very much, Ian. Thank you for affording me the time. And I would just like to take this opportunity for our whole team and our family and friends, as well as all our clients, for their support in 2022. I think it's been a long year for everybody, but looking forward to seeing you guys down here and having a festive season and get some rest and for the body and soul, and then tackle the new year with all new energy. Thanks, Ian.
Thanks, Chris van der Merwe from Remax Coastal.